moving here, so that we're ready to go in about 5 minutes.
Good job, Brian.
Thank you very much. Come in, and can you hear down there okay? People at the end, you can hear okay? I mean, your hearing's all right.
Ben's having trouble.
As soon as I see someone come through the door there, we'll announce.
Here they are. Trevor. Come over here.
Is that yours? Mine.
That's yours.
That's a chocolate.
If your wife gets stuck in the hand, that helps out. I don't really know what I'm doing with collateral.
Daddy. That's
Debbie and Sandy were there. I want to welcome you on behalf of Sandy and Debbie, and it's their wish that you really have a really good time here tonight. And we've had a real good time already today being at the ceremony. It was beautiful and really well done, and it's happened. They are married now. So. I'm going to introduce the head table, and I'd like you to hold your applause until I introduce all of them. And starting at my far right, we have the sister of the bride, and she is the bridesmaid, Jill Watley. And sitting next to Jill is a first cousin of Debbie's, and he is the groomsman. He is Marty Flatiger. And sitting next to Marty and next to Debbie is a close friend of the bride, and she is the maid of honor, Brenda Lee. And then coming down here to my immediate right, we have Chris Campbell. He is a close friend of the groom and fellow millwright, and is also a groomsman. Sitting next to Chris is the sister of the bride, and she is a bridesmaid as well, is Wendy Watley. And then sitting right to the right of Wendy is Mike Olson, a close friend of Sandy's. He is the best man. And last but not least, we have Debbie and Sandy Rivera. Also, there are a few people that aren't seated at the front table, like our two flower girls and our ring bearer. And the two flower girls are Chrissy and Sandy Rivera, who are nieces of Sandy. And sitting also at the table is Trevor Rivera, Sandy's son. And as you know, Trevor was the ring bearer, and when Trevor first heard about being a ring bearer, he had heard of the teddy bear, and he had heard of the root bear, and Yogi bear, and Smokey the bear, and he couldn't really visualize realize what a ring bear was. Some other people that I'd like to address here, special people that have come, are Sandy's mother, Lucretia Robert, sitting in the middle there, and Deb's mom and dad, Martha and Keith Watley. Also, we do have some out-of-town guests, and I know you're going to say, yes, we're all out of town. There aren't many in-town guests here, but I want to make special note of Peter and Marge Weinberg from Angelmont on Shuswap Lake.
Our car's on the bundle, so he's starting to get it going.
So the cars broke down.
No, the lights wouldn't go out, so we thought we'd better go and get something done, or we wouldn't have any battery to get home.
Hey, that's a nice husband, you know, lets his wife have supper and he goes, Sandy, take note. Also, I'd like to welcome Ida and Len Watley from Swassen. And also Anita and Blair McDowell from Edmonton, friends of Debbie's. Well, it seems like it's food time now, and I'm sure it's just a delicious food waiting for us there. Before I ask Pastor Les Burks to come and say grace and ask God's blessing for the food, I'd like to say that you may go up and simply get salad first, and then go up for other things later, their cold cuts and the hot food, and as well as your dessert. So feel free to go as many times as you please, or just make one trip. Also, at each table can then appoint a dishwasher. Oh yes, and Debbie and Sally said there are tickets still available at the door if you haven't purchased your tickets. Oh yes, I'm forgetting one more thing. The order of getting the food, that's always a tough one. And I always have to figure out what table am I sitting at. We're going to, of course, have the head table go first, and then we'll have the special tables here, these four, starting with the far one, with the immediate family, and then number 2, number 3, number 4. And back down to the Potters, number 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Perfect number.
Let's bow in prayer. Father, what a rich privilege to be able to come to you in prayer. It's possible because of Jesus Christ. We thank you for his love gift for each of us. We thank you for the special relationships that you give us in life. Thank you for Debbie and Sandy, and just pray your rich blessing upon them. Ask that in their lives together that you would just enrich them each day. And truly that the sharing that we do today, because it is sweet around these tables, may exemplify the love and the relationship that we have for you as well. And I thank you for the food, and thank you for the hands that have prepared it. And just pray your blessing upon each one of us as we share around these tables. May our conversation bring honor to you. And may we be mindful of those who are less privileged than we, and may we in every day give thanks for even life itself and the privilege of love and sharing together in this way. In Christ.
Make sure you get stuff that will stay in your
Excuse me, if you can work those that are away from your table, and we're going to start in 3 minutes. We're going to start, and we've got a lot on the program, and I'm looking forward to it. So in 3 minutes, we'll start here. So get everybody back to their tables, get your last drink or your last bit of dessert, and we'll go.
Go with it.
Oh my dad.
I really appreciated that, and food is always great. Reminds me of the diet Deb once went on. It's a banana and coconut diet. She didn't lose much weight, but she sure could climb trees like crazy. Actually, Deb looks just great today, doesn't she? And how come the bride always looks so stunning at weddings and the groom so stunned? And something for you, Sandy. Let Debbie know right from the start who's boss. There's no use kidding yourself. Actually, you don't have to worry who's boss at your house. You'll both be happier if you don't know who it is. Well, we're going to have some singing soon. Lee's going to come and play the piano and sing. And just one telegram that I've got. You know, no telegrams have come in except this one here. It reads, "To Debbie and Sandy, wishing you lots of happiness and joy, and every year a 10-pound boy." Signed, George and Gwen. Lee's at the piano. Lee's going to play a song called Fire and Rain.
Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Suzanne, the plans we made put an end to you. So I walked out this morning and I wrote down this song. I just can't remember who to say
up here so far, but there's going to be a lot of people up here sharing things tonight. And if you're not scheduled up here, you will have an opportunity 2 or 3 times. We're going to ask you to come up if you wish. And if you have something to say, 2 or 3 minutes, or 40 seconds, or 10 seconds. But you'll get that chance a little later on. I'll let you know at that time. There might be things on your mind and on your heart that have happened today and during the night that you'll want to say. Mr. Butler, yes. He's just waiting. All right, well, the sexes, you know, there always seems to be a little bit of battle for the sexes, and Deb just got it clear the other day, and she's discovered this. She says, the weaker sex is the stronger sex because of the weakness of the stronger sex for the weaker sex. Right, Deb? Yeah. I'm going to ask Uncle Harold Vladimir to come now, and he's going to do the toast to the bride.
Thanks, Ron. First of all, I'd just like to say to Debbie, it's a great privilege to be able to do this. I think it's just wonderful to be able to have that privilege to be able to propose the toast to the bride. I've known Debbie for a few years, being her uncle, for about 20 some odd years, 21, something like that. And so I knew her when she was pretty small, and she came to know the Lord at a young age, which I think is a great, wonderful thing. She came to know the Lord Jesus Christ as her Savior at a young age of 5 years old, and I think it's just great to be able to know that she came to, even at that young and tender age, to have a relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ. And that relationship has extended on through the years in her life as she grew up. She saw fit to serve the Lord, and as she grew up as a young teenager, she was very active in her own local church, a youth sponsor, involved in Sunday school work quite a bit, and she had a real desire in her heart to serve the Lord, and her life exemplified that in her loving and caring manner in whatever she pursued to do. In Proverbs chapter 31, we read about the many virtues of a godly woman. And there's just 2 verses there that I just want to quote to you. In verse 19 it says, she layeth her hands to the spindle, indicating a very industrious woman, one that would work very hard. And I certainly saw this in Debbie's life, particularly in her later years as she was going to college and to university, and she sought the Lord out into what career that He'd have for her, and she worked very, very hard. I know she worked, she used to study late on into the hours, into the night, wee hours of the morning actually, and I just couldn't get over that. That was really something. She really put her hand to the plow, as it were, and desired to do well and to exceed well in what she did. And she did. And she was able to get her Bachelor of Socials work, and she did very well at that. No matter what Debbie sought to do, she did very well. As I said, in her Sunday school work, she really strived to do well in that, and she did, and she excelled in it. In verse 20 we read that she reaches forth to the needy. And I saw this in Debbie's life. The Lord working in her life as she really sought the Lord in desiring to know what vocation she should go into and what the Lord would have for her. And she felt that she wanted to help her fellow mankind. And she has done that in her life. And as her heart's desire is to serve the elderly. And it's great to see how she has done this. And I've often told my children, I said, it's great to be able to have a job or to be able to do something that you really enjoy doing in your life and get paid for it. And I think Debbie's
found that out, that she's able to have a vocation in which she's able to serve the Lord in the way that she feels that she can, and she does. So no matter what Debbie has sought to do, as I say, she has put her best foot forward. She's really worked hard at it. And this is not to say that, of course, I'm talking a lot about Debbie, but it's not to say that down through her life that her parents have not affected her life, and her brothers and sisters in the Lord, and her pastors, and I know they've all had an influence on her life. She said that. And it's just great. I'm just really thrilled to be here this evening, to be able to pay tribute to her, to pay honor to her, to be able to toast her. And I would just like to ask that you would join with me now as we toast the bride. To the bride. To the bride.
Thank you, Uncle Harold. Sandy, where are you going? Okay, well, you just wait a second here, Sandy. Well, you can just right here. That's excellent. And I know Sandy is kind of a nervous guy, and sometimes. You nervous now? No? He's not nervous, so he's going to take my punchline away. But Sandy sometimes is nervous, at least that's what Debbie told me. That's good, isn't it? As you know, Sandy loves to read. He really does, right? Those that know Sandy. Loves to read a lot. Well, he was over at the Watleys one day. The Watleys there, and it was raining, sitting on the couch, and Debbie came over and sat down beside him. And she could tell that he was a bit nervous. And she said, "Sandy, does it make you a bit nervous, me sitting beside me?" And he said, "Well, I don't know, maybe a little bit." And she said, "What?" He said, "Why do you ask?" She says, "Because you got your book upside down." Sandy, you reply. The groan.
It's got to be the worst joke I've ever heard. Thank you very much, Uncle Harold, for your toast. I thought it was really true, and I really appreciate that myself. I'd like to thank everybody for coming down. Deb and I, we really appreciate that everybody could come down and help us celebrate our marriage and our new life together, and just start it off with a bang. And I'd like to thank the mayor of Port Alberni for giving so many people day passes so they were able to come down. I don't know, I guess there's a few in-town guests. Thank you very much, Jerry and Terry, from in-town, and Mary Ann and John and Tig, because there's too many out-of-towners to thank. And I'd also like to say thank you to Martha and Keith, my new mommy and daddy. Thank you very much for such a radiant bride that you've supplied me with. I appreciate it. So, thanks again. That's it.
Sounds good. Except, a few weeks ago, he ran his ad in the paper, a week ago. Ran his ad in the paper, and it read, "I will not be responsible for any debts contracted for by anyone but myself." And then just yesterday's paper, underneath it said, an ad said, and signed by Debbie, it said, "Oh yes, you will." There's two people here that have been waiting a long time to play the piano, and I'm going to introduce those two people. It's Chrissy and Sandy Rivera, the nieces of Sandy, and they're going to come up and play some songs. You want to come up now, girls? And as they come, yes, let's give them a hand. The songs that Sandy, this is Sandy by the way, she's going to play two songs, Canoe Song and On the Levee. And then Chrissy's going to come up and they're going to do a song together, and it's called The Pink Parasol. And Then Sandy's going to get her turn to play too. And gee, my writing's so bad. Let's follow the leader. What's the other one?
At the skating rink.
Yeah, at the skating rink. Thank you. Thank you, girls. That was excellent. I think they should have had you two playing in the service earlier today. I have to play with one of them later. I don't know what to say. Before I introduce Mike Olson, a good friend of Sandy's, he's going to give a toast to the bridesmaids. I just want to tell this story, and it just happened again a few days ago. And as you know, Mike and Sandy used to coach Lee in hockey years ago, and Mike's still doing it. Sandy kind of dropped away from the sport, and Mike's still coaching a juvenile team. And Mike was telling Sandy last week that he was having a lot of problems on the team with the guys. They were having mental problems, stress, anxiety, having a difficult time dealing with their emotions. And Sandy, you know, I don't know how many people know here, but he took psychology last year at North Island College. He just loves it, and he eats it up, and he can remember everything, and he knows how to figure everybody out. So as naive as Sandy is about the things of sports, and he says, Mike, would you let me be your new head coach? to come up forward. Mike, you want to come up here? You want me to bring you the mic? Oh, you're coming this way.
Thanks, Ron. And I thought Johnny Carson's comic writers were on strike. After Chrissy and Sandy, it's sort of a hard act to follow. I'd just like to say to the gentleman that mistook me earlier for the maitre d', I hope you enjoyed your... I enjoyed it. It was very good. Last night we had rehearsals here. Not everybody, obviously not everybody was here, but the ladies were running around doing all sorts of stuff. They were really quite busy. And Deb, in a spare moment, which there was very few of them, happened to turn to me and she said, Mike, you know, it's just so busy and so hectic around here. I'm really worried I might forget some insignificant little detail. I said, Deb, don't worry. I said, it's my job. I'll get Sandy here. Anyways, I got half of my job done today, and it's now my honor to propose a toast to the bridesmaids, these lovely, radiant ladies up here at the head table. So if you'd all stand to the bridesmaids.
Well, you know, the next thing that's going to happen is Deb's going to come up, and I'll probably bring the mic over to you, right, Deb? I can easily do that in a minute. Also, I did mention to you, yes, I did, about you'll be able to share from the microphone if you want later. Yeah, my memory's going. Okay. Oh, another thing about Deb. A few days ago, by the way, she got stopped by a police car. You know, she commutes between Parksville and Nanaimo every day, and she got stopped for speeding. Well, as the officer was writing out the ticket, he noticed on her license that it said, your license states that you are not permitted to drive without glasses. By now, Deb, she was late already, and she was getting pretty steamed about all this, and she was just cooking, so she looked at the officer and said, don't you know that I have contacts? And he replied, I don't care how many contacts you have.
That's number one.
I'm going to sing solo here, acapella. I'd like to thank everyone for coming and helping us celebrate this special day. I'm really glad that you're all here, and I'm taking note of everyone who is here, and I won't forget it. Thank you very much. I'm having a great day so far. The joke seem, but there are a couple of people that I would really like to thank for doing some special things for me. The first is to my Auntie Jolene, who made all the favors that you have in front of you. She hand-molded each of those flowers that are on favors and hand-painted each of the leaves. If you notice the detail, and it's hours and hours of labor and love. And also the beautiful cake that she made. It's just an incredible work of art. So I'd just like to thank Annie for that. And then for the bridesmaids' dresses and the flower girls' dresses and my beautiful dress, I'd like to thank my mom for all the time she spent and all the love she gave.
Well, who's going to be first to come up? Tear flowers off the table.
Call you Geraldo?
They're gonna call me lots of names. I think I've got someone coming up already and on their way. And then if there's anyone else that would like to share, I will have opportunity later on. Mr. Ben Potter, a good friend of the groom and bride and of ours. Ben, you must have some words of wisdom.
I'd just like to say a few words about Alexander Emile Guillaume Rivera. I've known Sandy for quite a number of years, and years ago I used to be the core instructor, that's the outdoor education teacher in Port Alberni, and Sandy was my star pupil. But I didn't quite teach him enough, I don't think, because he still doesn't know when a howling wolf is hungry or not. I really appreciate Sandy. I appreciate his mind. He makes me use my dictionary quite often. But more than that, he encourages my spirit. It's just been such a blessing to see him grow as a Christian. And last year he filled in so well for me with the senior teen class in church and did such an admirable job. He didn't even want me back afterwards, so that was good. I'm delighted that Sandy has found such a fantastic bride. Debbie is beautiful, intelligent, hardworking, and just a delightful woman. And I know she'll be a great mother to Trevor and a genuine helpmate to Sandy. So I'm really happy for both of you. Sandy, I once told you that there's many a slip between the cup and the lip. That cup has now reached your lips, and may you drink deeply of the joys of marriage.
Amen. Is there someone else? Thank you, Ben. Sentiments that we all would like to express, and you expressed them so well, Ben. Anyone else at this time? I'll give you a chance later as well. Well, Lee, we have to sing, you and I. It's time. Lee and I are going to do a song for you at this time. And this is to Debbie and Sandy, of course. And it's entitled So Happy Together, an old song that you might get your feet going on there. Don't be so serious out there. This is harder than the other job. Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about the girl you love and hold her tight. So happy together. If I should call you up in less than a dime, would you say you belong to me? I'd lose my mind. Imagine how the world would be. CMC. Something crossed my mind when I first said yes to being Master of Ceremonies, is that it might be the disaster of ceremonies. Well, we have another time for you to come up and share if you'd like. Anybody else out here that would like to come up and share some things on their minds? Don't be afraid. You won't get another chance. I mean, not at another wedding of these two people. A young lady here, would you like to come?
We'll get you the host. How's that? Okay.
I wanted to thank my Uncle Sonny and Auntie Deb for letting me be a flower girl. And I want to say congratulations for me.
Someone else, someone else. Not preaching today.
Preach, brother.
It's Saturday. Before I speak to you today, I'd like to say something. Some of you may know, some of you may not, that Sandy actually laughs 3 times at every joke. Once when you tell it, the second time when you explain it to him, the third time when he understands it. Now, on the other hand, Ben Potter over there, there he is. Ben laughs twice at every joke. He laughs when you tell it, and then he laughs when you explain it, but he never gets it. Ron over here on the other hand, Ron only laughs once. There's no point in explaining it. I've been amazed today at how many things Ron can remember that he forgot. Deb and Sandy and Trevor, it's a treat for us as a family to be a part of your day. And one of the things in marriage that is so significant to making it all work is not only what we put into our relationship together, but surrounding ourselves with the people who are going to be meaningful to us. And it's fun today. And you have a neat family to relate to, and a neat church family to relate to, and those that are around you that care about you. And I think of so many people, and they're out there, and they don't have that. And want to make the joke. I guess, having known your family, Deb, for a good while, and all the love that they've spilt into today for you is just very special. And I know you're going to make it as a neat couple, and you have a lot to offer other people. May God just enrich you and your family, and make you the kind of home that can really have a lot of influence for God. God bless you.
Someone else. Thank you, Pastor Les. Someone else may come at this point. There'll be one more chance later on.
Why do you go roving Mike?
Roving. Yeah, we might have to do that. Uncle Harold has a surprise for us.
He's not the same, is he?
Actually, you are.
I gotta go out and come back down near the door. Say a few jokes, Ron.
Yeah, I know. was good. It was really good.
That must be exhausting.
Okay, we're going to have the cutting of the cake in just a bit as well. And after the cutting of the cake, that's going to be your last opportunity to come up to the microphone and share some things. If you feel a little bit sheepish about standing up here, I can always bring the long attention over to you if you feel better about sharing what you want to do from there. And after that, we are going to have Christine Gertz and Jane playing the piano and singing, and the guitar. They're going to be singing together. I don't even know the title of the song. Do you know the title? They're going to make it up. And after that, Debbie and Sandy are going to pass out the cake and do some visiting. And the bouquet is going to be thrown. I don't know what direction, but we're going to arrange that. And then farewell time. So there's lots happening. I want to thank all the people that have had a part in all of this here today, and from bringing in chairs to the decorating the tables. And it's really been a good day that I've really looked forward to. And it's here upon us, and I'm really glad that Devin and Sandy could be married. And I know they're going to take off to Mexico right after, and we stay here where it rains. But I guess they deserve that reward. One more thank you.
I just wanted to thank Ron Bain, even if he does have really lousy jokes. I want to thank him very much for doing just a fantastic job with Master Ceremonies. So thanks, Ron. I also wanted to thank Christine Gertz for singing so beautifully and for leading. And I know I'm going to forget somebody else, so here's thank you for everybody else that took part in making it so special for us. Thanks a lot.
I think Uncle Harold's going to play the cymbals, right? Is that what we're hearing over there?
3.5 hours of home movement.
Rundown on family history, but he fell asleep, I think, about the second reel. So we're going to continue tonight. And Sandy, the reason I'm doing this, actually this is for Sandy's benefit and for your entertainment, by the way. I got to do this, Sandy, tonight to carry on where we left off, because I think it's very important that you understand the family you're getting married into. No, I just want to bring out some of the finer qualities of your bride. So this is Sandy's benefit. I mean, I just wanted to show some of the finer qualities of Debbie.
Tell us a bit about Harold.
Pardon?
Tell us a bit about it.
Well, it's hard to explain. Pictures are worth 1,000 words, really. And but it just showed some of the finer points of Debbie as she's going to be your wife, and she's a very good gardener. There's a bit of film here that shows her gardening and watering the garden. She's right out there, and she's very industrious doing that. And there's a picture of her. Also, she won a beauty contest in about 1964. She came in first, and so that's another aspect of her. And also, she's very pretty, very good looking. She looks great in a bikini. I wanted to show you that too.
I'm glad that bulb's out.
But unfortunately, I can't show you. I can't believe it. Oh no, but what we'll do is, I know when you get back to your honeymoon, that you will probably be paying us a visit. And so I thought maybe at that time I could run the film off and show it to you.
Thank you very much, Uncle Harold.
Well, we'll get some lights back on, and a lot of people that wanted to come just so they could roast Sandy. So, yes,
Right, Sandy? It hurts me, Ron.
And as you know, Debbie is very protective about her dear Sandy. Very protective. Anyway, Debbie and I screened the requests by only allowing those who would never speak who are gentle and who would never speak a harsh word against anyone. And so I asked Irene and Gloria, would you please come forward?
Big high.
You thought Debbie got it at the shower, boy. You haven't said anything yet. Boy, it's really a privilege to have been asked to roast Andy. It's really nice. He has to sit up front there looking pretty. He can't say a thing back. It's just wonderful to have him in such a position. It's a real opportunity. Isn't it, Irene?
Oh, it sure is. I wouldn't miss this for the world. But really, you know, it's his wedding. Shouldn't we take it a little easy on him?
Well, if you like, Irene. But you know, the last time he was at my place for supper, he said that I was a much better cook than you.
Oh, he did he, the rat? Well, I'll have you know that the last time he was at our place for supper, he said that I was a much better cook than you.
See what kind of guy he is?
Right. Let him have it. Oh, by the way, Gloria, what did your mom buy Debbie and Sandy for their wedding?
A sledgehammer.
A sledgehammer? Come on.
A sledgehammer. Got it right here.
Well, why would Debbie need a sledgehammer?
She's gonna need one.
Gloria, that's serious. This is ridiculous.
Well, you know, Sandy's not very brave, and Debbie might need one for protection. I mean, you know, if your husband's not brave, you can at least have a sledgehammer.
Well, you let me in on this. Like, why?
Well, you remember the time that Dan and Ron and Sandy went camping and fishing? They were in a cabin, and when they came up to the cabin, they saw a wolf standing on the hill there, and it was howling.
No, right. And Ben said that it really looked hungry.
Yes, yes, and Ben can tell just by looking at it.
Who's getting roasted?
I think he's related. Well, anyway, that night when Sandy had to go to the outhouse, you know, he tried to talk Ron and Ben into coming along with him. But Ron and Ben really didn't need to go. And they figured he was a big boy, he could go by himself. Well, he took a sledgehammer.
Excellent gift, Gloria. You're very perceptive. Debbie's going to really need one of those. And you know, one other thing. Debbie will never have any trouble entertaining Sandy. When he's bored, all she has to do is throw up.
That's gross. How could you say such a thing?
Well, you remember after the camping trip, Sandy said that the thing he most enjoyed was watching Ron barf over the side of the boat.
It doesn't take much to amuse some people.
At least not Sandy.
Oh, by the way, Irene, what did you and Ben buy them for a wedding present?
A dictionary.
A dictionary? Whatever for?
Well, you know how Sandy likes to throw around these big words, and he doesn't know the meaning to half of them. And also could use a lot of help in the pronunciation. You remember when he read scripture at church, and he did fairly well reading about them until he got to the Pharisees and the Sadducees, and he called the Sadducees Sanucci's.
I remember that. I recall that. In fact, I'll never forget it. But, you know, Debbie, if you're ever redecorating your new house, you know, I hope you will never ask Sandy for advice. I don't think she should, do you?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, that's for sure, because you remember the last place he lived in? Yeah.
Right.
Remember the orange rug with the big black spots? And the bright blue curtains?
You must admit, it's a great color combination for those that are, you know, blind.
My mom picked it out.
Yeah, but Sandy told her what to get.
We know your mom didn't put on the black spots, Sandy. Come on, you can't blame your mom for everything. Now, I know, you know, we know why Sandy picked Debbie for a wife. You know, she's beautiful, she's intelligent, she's athletic, she's hardworking, just like you and me.
Absolutely.
But why do you suppose Sandy picked Debbie?
Debbie picked Sandy.
Oh, I mean, yeah. And why did Sandy pick Debbie? You know, they say when you get married, you become one. I can't tell which one. Why did you pick Sandy? You know why?
I sure do.
Why?
It's easy. She loves antiques.
She's got one for her collection. He is over the hill.
But really, you know, another reason that Debbie picked Sandy is because he is a terrific cook. I think that we should send Ben and Ron to him for cooking lessons. It wouldn't hurt for you to go too.
Well, look, Irene, at least I don't wash my hair with coffee. You said you wouldn't add my age to that list.
Look at notes.
Seriously, though, Sandy is a great guy. We really love him. He's kind and loving, and he's got a great sense of humor. And the best thing about him is that he never holds a grudge. No matter what anybody says about him or does to him, he never holds a grudge. He never holds a grudge.
You're right, Lord. He's very forgiving. And aren't we lucky?
We love you, Sandy.
Where are we now? Oh, coming up the gate. And we haven't found the light bulb yet, have we, by any chance? They have found the light bulb. All right, and, well, maybe we can cut the cake and then do it?
Sure.
And, sounds good.
Well, we're cutting the cake instead of that.
All right. Well, if we can get people gathered back here, if there are those that are gone outside, I don't know how they'll hear me. The guy being married is not, you don't make a fool of yourself without finding out about it. Right?
That's from experience?
That's it. And Debbie, this is for you. You think it's all roses. Marriage is something that begins when you sink into his arms and ends up with your arms in the sink. When you get back to Mexico. Yeah. And I think at this time, we'll have an opportunity for the open mic, and then following that, we'll hear from Lee and Christine. So, anyone else want to come up and share a few words? Here we are. Someone else.
I'm a very shy person, can't stand microphones, pretty well known, very backward. I'm also another Ron, and I share this Ron's backward type of approach. I know he doesn't like stepping forward and making himself seem to. I agree with that. A good approach, Ron. Stay with us. But what I really wanted to say was that I'm probably not known to more than half a dozen people in this room, and my wife Jenny over here is not either. But Debbie, to us, is a very dear person. She came to us, what did you finish, grade 13 at the time, and you were just going into the university program, Debbie? And a real sweet girl, and I liked her because she didn't answer back, she didn't talk back, she done what she was told to do, never quit. You know, a real liberated type of woman, just the kind I like. And, so anyway, Sandy, you just keep her that way because she's just great. But what I wanted to say is that lady, when she makes up her mind she's going to achieve something, she does it. And I would go out, walk around the complex where Debbie worked. I had to be her supervisor at that time. I was senior citizens, and I'd go out at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and come in and walk by her suite door, which was right next to ours, and hear the typewriter pounding as she was desperately getting out these reports for her assignments. And she was always terribly disappointed if she didn't get an A. It was the worst thing that could ever happen to Debbie if she didn't get an A. Sandy, I feel sorry for you. You've got quite a standard to live up to. But anyway, all the best to both of you. And the seniors that loved her, I hope that she spent a lot more time with. They still talk about Debbie at Manning Gardens in Victoria.
Thank you for those kind words. How's the projectionist doing?
We're going to try something here. We got a real steam one here. So.
And Uncle Harold is a master mechanic by trade, and he's really being a master tonight, isn't he?
Oh yeah, I've got 2 machines here to make one, so. You notice that Miss America contest, you know? Well, this is it. This is it. She came in first in 1964. She needs a little bit of help there. Her assistants are helping her, but she did very well that year. It was a good year for her.
I would say that outfit is quite revealing for her after.
Here she is. This is one of her trades. She loves gardening. She just really loves gardening. And she's really good at that. She gets out and waters the garden when it's necessary. So I don't think you'll have any trouble there. She's an all-around person, really, Sandy. We really appreciate Debbie very much. She'll be a real helpmate to you, as I say. Good in the garden. But don't get in the way when she's watering, eh? She likes swimming a lot. She loves the water. Oh yeah, she loves the water.
Can't fly. Don't want to stay on our feet there, but it takes the water very well, Sandy. You'll enjoy time together out on the beach. Squaw Beach and that. Good little help there. When she was finished doing this, she swam very well. She's a good swimmer, really. The water goes shallow all the time. Oh, and she's a great farmer. If you want to go farming, Sandy, she loves animals. She really she likes dogs, and she really likes the farm. She really takes to the farm. She's really excited about animals and working on the farm. She loves the geese and chickens. If you have a few chickens, maybe a couple heavy cattle, Sandy, I think you guys will do very well. As I say, she's very domesticated. She loves animals. This is the wrestling hold of the week. She loves the cats. She really takes the animal. We're not quite sure about her, but and oh, if you get her one of these, you want an exercise machine. Take on the back of the reel. Huh? Take up a slot on the back of the reel. Hold the tape on the back of the reel. Well, it goes with the horse. You want to get her one of those exercise machines. Loves horses. Loves riding. You can go out horseback riding. What did you say, Jay? Just put your finger on the back of the reel. When it's coming over jumping. This is a bikini contest you won, Sandy.
Still got it, Deb.
Loves fun in the sun, loves summer. As you can see, Sandy, you've married an all-around girl. She's just everything. You're real healthy, do you?
Like that car.
Daddy.
Yeah, she's got good coordination. And so, Deb, Sandy, I hope you enjoy your drive. Thank you very much.
I'm just going to mention two things. At the end of the evening, which is coming close, we're going to have an open mic first, and we're also going to have Lee and Christine.
I got it, didn't I?
Sing. But at the end, I'd like us all to file out into the foyer of the church, and we can have the throwing of the bouquet out there, because in here, you might get hurt. And then also, I'd like us all to form an arch, or yeah, arch is the right word, as Sandy did leave for the evening, and out in the foyer as well. So I'll mention it to you later when we all go there for those two last items. Okay, one more opportunity to share some things, and I'll tell you what, we're going to listen to Lee and Carolyn first. That's good. Christine? Carolyn, would you like to say? All right, and then I'll have those that want to come up and say a few words do so. Thank you.
like to relate back to the first time that I met you guys. I guess it was probably about 3 years ago, so we didn't meet you as Debbie and Sam. And it's very exciting to see Sandy has grown his walk with the Lord. And the thing that really impressed me about Sandy was his desire not to be a lukewarm Christian, to give his all to the Lord. And it's really exciting to see how the Lord has blessed him and how he has brought two such wonderful people together. And we look forward to spending many, many times with you guys together.
I'll come up here. Thanks, Sandy, for inviting me to his wedding. I appreciate it. And I'm really sorry I didn't but, and I know I'm going to make it short because you have Hitler, was it, this Friday? Yeah. Okay, well, we came back up from Toronto. Deb welcomed us to our apartment, which was great because I wasn't really working right away. And I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. You can figure that now. Well, our check fund again.